And hello, everyone. Good morning and welcome to our live trading workshop. It is January the 6th, 2026. So, for everyone who didn't see us yet, Happy New Year. I hope you have a great start into 2026. May all your trading projects and, of course, personal projects may become true. All right. So, with this, I'm super excited to be here today because the live trading workshop is really where the rubber hits the road, where basically we apply our indicators to trade our live account in front of an audience to showcase, first of all, how we use our indicators to find interesting trade setups. But also, secondly, of course, we also want to make money. And this is, of course, once again, our objective today to, place some trades. Hopefully, they're going to be successful trades. There's no guarantees, of course. And this is really where theory meets praxis. So with this, let's get into it. But real quick, where are you guys calling in from? Who do we have in the room today? So I myself am calling in from beautiful Montreal. It's a snowy day once again today. It took me quite a while to walk to the office because the sidewalks were full of snow and quite slippery. So it was a slow walk, but I made it in my office, downtown Montreal. And so this is where I'm calling in from. Where are you guys calling in from? Please share your location. So let's have a look. So we have Mark from Birmingham, Alabama. Hey, Mark, nice to have you. Somebody says Happy New Year to us. Yeah, thank you very much. Joe says the chat is not open. Chat is reserved for links that we send out. Please use the Q&A box, Joe. Senna, Senad, I'll have to deal with this later. Werner from Frankfurt. Hey, Werner, how are you? Aubrey from lovely sunny Cyprus. Hey, Aubrey, how's it going? Kerry from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. How's it going, Kerry? How's the weather over there in Saskatchewan? I wonder. Linda from Orangeville, Ontario. David from Boston. Hey, David, how's it going? Art from Frederick, Maryland. Okay day to fly. All right, I guess if you're not flying up north. Eric from Phoenix. Hey, Eric, how's it going? Terry from Colorado. Hey, Terry, how's it going? Gabriel from Virginia. Hey there. We have somebody from Illinois. Hey there. Charles from New Jersey. Hey, Charles, how's it going? And Kerry says it's cold and snowy in Saskatoon. Okay. Sam from Tennessee. Hey, Sam, how's it going? Nestor. Hey, Nestor from New York. Gabriel says Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too. And Linda says I suffer jet lag. Yeah, maybe that, or maybe just, in the end, the date is not really that important. What's important is that today actually is going to be a very lively day in the markets with some reports coming out at 10 a.m. Eastern. We're going to talk about this in just a bit. Derek from Ontario and Moshi from, I have to deal with this later, and Miguel from Montreal. Oh, Miguel, welcome. It's always nice to see a fellow Montreal. Awesome. All right, guys, let's get into it. A quick reminder that, first of all, this session is being recorded and the recording will be posted on our YouTube page shortly afterwards. And secondly, and more importantly, if you trade futures or Forex or stocks or really any other asset class, keep in mind that trading does contain substantial risk and therefore is not suited for every investor. If you trade, make sure to only use risk capital, which is money that you actually can afford to lose. When it comes to backtest performance or hypothetical performance or really anything based on historical data, keep in mind that this is not necessarily indicative of future performance, and any trade ideas and setups and strategies discussed in this webinar should not be construed as trade advice. These are for educational purposes only. All right. So with this out of the way, let me quickly introduce ourselves for those of you who are perhaps joining us for the very first time. And if you do, please put a 1 into the Q&A box so that I can give you a personal hello as well. So we are tradingindicators.com. And as our name suggests, we specialize on creating innovative trading indicators. So we've built thousands of those for all kinds of platforms, for TradingView, of course, for Thinkorswim, NinjaTrader, MotiveWave, MetaStock, MetaTrader, and so forth. So we've seen it all. But what's important is that it's not just about adding new indicators to it and to it and to it. The indicators need to make sense, and more importantly, they need to work well together. And 4 indicators that work really well together, we're going to be using today to find interesting day trading setups. This brings me to another point. Today, the main focus will be on day trading. We have about 2 hours in this session. So we strive to open and close a trade within those 2 hours. And given these constraints, day trading is really the only trading approach that we can use today. But having this said, our indicators, they do work for swing trading and longer term trading as well. All right. Also, what we're going to be doing today is based on technical analysis. We're going to ignore fundamentals for the most part, except for one aspect. When there are important market news coming out, like at 10 a.m. in about 25 minutes from now, we will probably stay away from the market. We let these news pan out, we let these news be priced into the chart, and then we continue our trading. So this is how we deal with fundamentals. We are not trying to interpret them. I think that's very complicated and very complex because you never really know what is already priced in and what perhaps comes as a surprise to the market. So our focus today will be on technical analysis. And the beautiful thing about this is if you focus on technicals exclusively, you will simplify your trading approach by a lot. As I mentioned, interpreting fundamentals is not easy, but technical analysis, especially if you use the right indicators, it's actually quite straightforward. All right. So having this said, real quick to our team today, my name is Daniel. I'm the guy here on the left-hand side, and we have created Trading Indicators, our company with FOMA, about 10 years ago. And about 5 years throughout this journey, Niklas has joined us here on the right-hand side. And Niklas is also in the room today, and he's going to help me with the charting and with some discussions that we're going to have. And I'm just going to quickly look into the chat. We have 2 new users. We have BH and Denise. Joining us today for the very first time. Well, welcome, guys. Welcome to the club. I hope we're going to make it worth your while and hopefully going to be joining us for future events as well. All right. So with this, a couple of ground rules for today. So as I mentioned before, the focus will be on day trading futures. We may look into some stocks as well, but really the main focus today will be on day trading futures. Having this said, the principles and the techniques and the indicators that we will be using today are universally applicable. You can apply them to swing trading as well, to trading stocks, to trading FX and other asset classes. Okay. Today also, we will be using TradingView as the trading platform. Not because we think TradingView is the only platform that you should be using, that's not the case, but simply because it's the greatest common denominator. Chances are, even if you mainly trade from NinjaTrader or Modify or some other platform, you probably have used or at least heard of TradingView before. This is why we will be using TradingView as our trading platform today. And of course, we will be taking live trades. Using our live account. So it's not a demo account. We're going to risk our own live money. But of course, this is a live trading workshop. As such, we obviously want to take trades. But given the time constraints of only 2 hours, some of these trades may be forced or closed out prematurely, just for the sake of showing you how we take trades. Just keep this in mind. If we take a trade where we're not fully convinced, we will point this out. We may take it anyways, just to showcase it. But just be aware of this. Is every trade going to be a winner? Of course. I'm joking. Now, there's no such guarantee. Even though we've been highly successful in the past in our live trading workshops, there's definitely no guarantee and no such strategy. If somebody tells you otherwise, he is lying to you. But of course, what we're going to be doing today, because we don't like to lose money just like anybody else, we will do everything in our power to increase the odds of having successful trades. As such, we will do implicitly, you'll see what that means in a second, a multi-time frame analysis. We will look at support and resistance. We're going to be looking at volume and high volume nodes and low volume nodes. Of course, we're going to be looking at trend and momentum. We will use risk management, which perhaps is something that's often overlooked, but of course, we're going to also figure out, hey, how much do we actually risk with this trade? Is this within our risk profile? If no, we may skip the trade. And we're going to avoid major market events. Now, talking about major market events, let's have a quick look of what is going on in the market right now this morning. So I'm going to quickly jump over to our charts. And don't worry about the charts for now. I'm going to open up the economic calendar here. This guy here. And let's see what's coming up today. Gen 7, thanks, Linda, once again for pointing out the right date. So at 10 a.m., quite a few things are coming out. We have the ISM report coming out on the non-manufacturing index. So there's going to be some numbers coming out. The focus is at 52.3. We don't know what the actual number will be, but what matters is whether the actual number will come out differently than the forecasted number. Okay. So previously it was 52.6. Now the new forecast is 52.3. We're not trying to interpret the number, whether it's good or bad. What we're going to be looking at if it comes out as a surprise, and we're going to see how the market reacts to this. And this is how our interpretation of fundamentals will be like.
Hi, Daniel.
Yes, Nicholas.
I just want to check with everyone. I think it's okay, but we had a comment from Terry. Could anybody write into the Q&A box if the volume from Daniel is all right? It sounds perfect on my end here. Seems normal.
Let me just see if I have my right microphone plugged in.
I think you do. No, it's coming in all good, people are saying.
Okay.
So Terry, that might be something on your end there, unfortunately.
Maybe crank up these speakers of yours. Oh, they are full loud. Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, seems to be fine. All right. Thanks, Nicholas. Thanks for checking in, Terry. But maybe you can tune your system a little bit. All right. So this is coming in at 10 a.m. And then also at 10 a.m. this morning, the JOLTS report. Like we have two things coming in. Oops, where did it go? The JOLTS report is coming in as well, which is basically about the job openings. How many job positions are currently open, what's being filled, and so forth. Forecast is 7.6 million as the number. Once again, we're not trying to interpret how this number will affect the economy. That's beyond us. As mentioned before, these fundamentals are not easy to interpret. We will focus on the technicals, and most importantly, we're going to be observing how the market will react to these numbers coming in. Okay. All right, so with this, let's move on real quick. I'm going to go back to my slides for just a minute, and then we're going to look at the charts to prepare ourselves to get an understanding of what is going on, on all these different markets we're going to be considering today. Now, what do we want to do today? So as mentioned before, I'm going to skip a couple of these things. We want to figure out, before we take any trades, in fact, we need to understand what is the current story of the market. Or in other words, how did price end up where it is right now? Which path did it take? Why is it where it is right now? Why is this important? Well, because only if you understand what happened previously, you may be able to forecast what may happen in the next chapter. It's like reading a book. You have to read all the chapters until the current chapter to understand what has happened, to be able to forecast with some degree of certainty. Of course, there can always be surprises. That's clear. But you can try to focus what may happen in the next chapter. So how are we going to do this? Well, we're going to use indicators for this. And these indicators will tell us parts of the market story. The first indicator that we will be using is called MA-RUSH. It has a complicated name. It's historically, there's a historical reason why this indicator is called like this. In hindsight, probably would have named it something else. Regardless, it's called MA-RUSH right now. It is our trend indicator, and it will print these labels onto your price chart, these bearish and bullish labels, indicating to us what is the current trend. Now, why is this important? Well, understanding what the current trend is, you can see this latest label here on this chart is bullish, so the current trend is bullish. Understanding what the current trend is important because it is always easier to trade with the trend than against it. You may have heard it, the trend is your friend. Chances are that the trend will continue are simply higher than the trend reversing. Now, will we break this rule occasionally? Yes, we will. Sometimes we will take counter trend entries, which go against the predominant trend if other factors come in. But understanding what the trend is nonetheless important. And ideally, everything will line up, which will not always be the case, especially if you only have a short time frame. But ideally, we trade with the trend rather than against it. Indicator number 2 is what it's all about key levels. It's called Liquidity IQ. This is the name of the indicator. And this indicator will show us what are key support, these red lines here, and key resistance levels on your chart. Why is this important? Well, price will react to these levels in the future. You can see it here. Price, for example, came up to this resistance level on top and bounced off towards the middle, or towards the downside. Then it came down to support and bounced off again towards the upper or the middle in between support and resistance. Eventually, this level was broken and we had a nice follow through. So price is reacting to these levels. Understanding where these levels are is going to be important to forecast what may happen in the future. Indicator number 3 is all about where is the action, which price regions, not which times of the day, not which days in the week, no, which price regions are the most or the least heavily traded ones. Why is this important? For multiple aspects. you can see on this volume profile indicator displayed by our volume IQ indicator, you can see these higher volume nodes in certain price regions, like for example this one here, between 3,330 and 3,320, or maybe this big node here between 3,270 and let's say 3,260. These nodes often first of all, slow down price. So if price approaches these levels, it will slow down. It may hang out in these levels for quite some time because these levels are highly contested. And depending on from which direction price will approach these nodes, for example, here we're coming from the top into this node, this level may act as support, as it would be in this case, or as resistance if price is approaching this level from the downside. That's important. This could be another level of support or resistance coming in from the volume profile. Also, another thing, if we are approaching these lower volume nodes, you can see this little valley here in our volume profile, price oftentimes accelerates and speeds up in these regions. And once again, important to form an understanding of what may happen in the future. All right, and fourthly, I should say, we're going to look at what is the overall headline. In other words, what if you put everything together, the trend, the levels, the volume, what could be the headline of what is going on in the market? And for this, our brand new One IQ indicator will come in, which compiles all this information together into one consolidated headline. For example, it could be a short power break or a short power bounce or whatever it might be. This will be given to us by our One IQ indicator. And the way we're going to set things up is that we will have these three indicators, MA Rush, Liquidity IQ, and Volume IQ on our charts, but we will set up alerts based on our One IQ indicator to be alerted whenever a new headline is coming in. Now, what could these headlines be? Real quick, and then we're going to switch over to the charts. Well, it could be one of the four. We're going to keep it simple. It could be what we call a long power bounce, where price is trending up. Price is approaching a key level from above, meaning it's approaching a support level, and there is a second line of defense in place, meaning there's another level below it, which if the first line of defense fails, the second line of defense hopefully will prevent price from falling further down, and instead price will bounce up to the upside. That's the long power bounce, and we have the short power bounce. That's a typo here, where the trend is down. It's approaching a key resistance level, so it's coming up to a resistance level, and also there's a second line of defense in place. And then we also have our breakout setups. I'm not going to go through all the details, where basically a level is broken in accordance with the trend, and we may see a nice follow through in the direction of the breakout, either long or short. All right, so before we go to the charts, just one quick reminder that we do have a special going on right now for exactly these four indicators, which we'll be using right now: Liquidity IQ, Volume IQ, One IQ, and MA Rush. We call this the Market IQ pack, available at tradingindicators.com/2026. It's one of our New Year's special, giving you a special bundle offer to get started on the right foot with these indicators. And Niklas, please put this link into the chat box. If you guys want to check it out, scroll down a little bit on the side to see if you want to take advantage of this offer. All right, now, without further ado, let's go to the charts. All right, so I'm going to switch over to my TradingView charts. And the first thing I'm going to show you, just going to quickly connect here, there we go, is how we set up our charts. All right, so today, we will be focusing on day trading, okay? And as such, we will be using smaller time frames. One time frame as the chart time frame will be the 15-minute time frame. You can see this one here with the bluish background. Remember, this blue background is the 15-minute time frame. And we will also zoom in a little bit to the even smaller time frame, which has a black background, which is the M5, the 5-minute time frame. So keep this in mind, okay? Black background, 5-minute time frame if it's a full chart, and blue background, 15-minute time frame on the chart. All right, so why is this important to understand? Because first of all, as you can see here, we also have indicators on our chart. And I'm going to quickly enable and disable them one by one so you can see exactly what's coming in. So the first indicator that we'll have on our chart is the MA Rush indicator, our trend indicator showing us whether we are bullish or bearish. Right now for this symbol here, I just arbitrarily chose the symbol on wheat futures. We're currently bullish. The last label on the chart is bullish. But having this set, There's also a configuration which I am using for this indicator. Everything is standard except for one parameter of AmiRush. Look at this one here. It's called the reference time frame. It is set to 30 minutes, meaning even though we are on the 50-minute chart, I want my trend information coming from a higher time frame. In this case, the 30-minute time frame. Okay, let me just show you what's the difference. If I go to 50 minutes here, you'll see the labels will update and they'll be much more fine-grained. So once this updates, is it done? Yeah, well, there's not much of a big change, but trust me, there was a bit of a change coming in when I changed this reference time frame. So basically, we are getting our trend information from the 30-minute time frame. The second indicator is called Liquidity IQ. It shows us key support and key resistance level. For example, here on this symbol, we can see we are bullish and we just broke. You can see it here above this key resistance level. So this could be, in theory, one of our power breakout setups. The price is bullish, trend is bullish, and we just broke above resistance. We may see a nice follow through to the upside. And this indicator is called Liquidity IQ. Once again, everything is standard in terms of configuration for this indicator, except for the reference time frame here as well. Also, it is set to the 30-minute time frame. Then we're going to move to Volume IQ. Volume IQ is our volume profile indicator. I'll show you this one right here. It's loading. Let's give it a second. Let's go, let's go, let's go. See, it's a bit slow. There we go. Okay, this is our volume profile indicator. Here, everything is standard. I didn't change anything in the configuration, so we're just going to use standard parameters. We can see here, for example, okay, we were bullish. In fact, this was one of the alerts that came in. I'm going to talk about this in a second. We were bullish. We just broke above resistance and below us. Look at this one here. Was the zone of control of our volume IQ indicator. So here we actually had all three things coming together. Trend is bullish. We broke above resistance. We may see a nice follow through, and there was a second line of defense in place. As let's say, if price does not continue higher, it fails at this resistance level, it may bounce off this zone of control to the upside. So three things coming together for a nice long setup. And in fact, this one came in here as an alert at 9:45. Long power bounce. You see it here. Okay. So this could have been a long setup. We're not going to be trading before these market news coming in, but this is the kind of setups we will be looking for where everything comes together. And of course, there's one more indicator. It's called OneIQ. It's this one, which I'm enabling right now. Just give it a second. It's just loading. It's a bit slow TradingView this morning. Sometimes this happens when the market just opens, when TradingView servers are busy. And you can see here, it shows us basically the headline, what is going on right now in the market. We are bullish. There's no zone of control nearby because price already went away. There's a key level at 515 below current price. We can see this one here, 515, give or take. That's the current resistance level. No setup right now. There was a setup 15 minutes or 10 minutes ago. Price moved to the upside since then. And right now, there's no qualified setup. All right. And the other thing here on OneIQ, just real quick, everything is standard. The only difference here on this one is that the reference timeframes for Liquidity IQ and AmiRush, they're both set to 30 minutes. That's the only change I did here. All right, so that was my 50-minute chart. Then my 5-minute chart, it's basically the same thing. The chart background is black, and everything is the same in terms of indicators, except for the case where the reference time frame for AmiRush, for Liquidity IQ, and for OneIQ, these are all set to the 15-minute time frame. So once again, we're looking at a higher time frame, not the 30 minutes, but the 15-minute time frame as the higher time frame. All right. So this explains the chart. There's one more thing to be done, and of course, it is 9:55. The reports will come in soon. My broker connection. So how do we connect to our live account? So we will be actually, I'm going to be using this one here. We will be connected to our Interactive Brokers account. You can see it here. It's a very seemingly easy connection to Interactive Brokers in TradingView. This is our live account. You can see it here. We have around $50,000 in that account, which is required, unfortunately, here in Canada because futures trading doesn't allow for much margin in Canada. It's different in different countries. So to be able to make any meaningful trades, we actually, unfortunately, need to have quite a bit of a balance in here. I'm 51,000 right now. It's a live account. Let's see if we can find some trades. All right. So now what I'm going to do now is I want to walk through some of the markets that we will be considering today. And the way I would like to do it is I would give you an overview first, starting with the major indexes. So I'm going to use this 4-chart layout just to give you a bit of an overview, just so we have some context of what is going on. Okay. All right. So up here we have micro Nasdaq. And for now, we're just going to use the 50-minute chart just to keep it easy. So on micro Nasdaq, what do we see? Well, we can see it here. The price is right now at this resistance level. I can see this little green box here. We're just in this resistance level. It's going to be interesting to see, because we're not going to be trading right now before the reports are coming in, whether this level will hold, or perhaps we're going to see a bounce off this level. It seems like price tries to go above it. We'll see in a bit. If we bounce off this level, well, there might be some nice long opportunities, perhaps from this zone of control here, along with the support level. We'll see what's going to happen. So price is bullish. We're just testing resistance right now in Nasdaq. Similar picture in the E-minis, the S&P E-minis. You can see it here. Also here, price is testing this resistance level. Pretty much the same. Oftentimes, these two symbols are correlated. What about Dow Jones? Down here, this is the Dow Jones futures. Let's have a quick look. Also in Dow Jones, yeah, are we here? That's interesting. We're all actually already seeing price to come down a little bit. Yeah, from this all-time high here, I believe, or near the all-time highs. We're retracing a bit. And if you're coming down a bit further, maybe.
On the 5-minute there, Daniel, actually. Oh, yeah. Sorry, go ahead to finish.
I was just about to say that price is approaching this former resistance level, which may be one of our zone break retrace setups. We'll see in a bit. Yeah, Nicholas.
Yeah. And on the 5-minute, there was just a short power breakout. Oh, yeah. I didn't take it. I almost grabbed it, but it was a nice, quick follow through.
Yeah. I think it's wise not to take any of these trades right now. As 3 minutes left until all these reports are coming out. We're gonna wait to see what will happen here. But yeah, we see Dow is going down already, which kind of makes me think maybe this is a precursor of also Nasdaq and the S&P 500 futures to bounce off this resistance level. And down here we have the Russell. You can see it here. Also, the Russell is coming down a little bit. All right, let's have a look at our metals. So here we have gold. I don't know if you saw this. Silver and gold, they both sold off overnight. Kind of was happy. I had short puts in silver open from a swing trading point of view for about a week, which I closed yesterday at the high point. I was happy I closed them down. They were about 55, almost 60% in profit. Normally I like to close them out when they're 75% in profit. I thought, oh boy, things are so extended in silver, but I'll take what I have, and a good decision it was. The price in silver, you can see it here, lost 4 or 5% overnight. Gold also a bit, so that was a good move on my part. And there's nothing wrong with ringing the register a bit early sometimes. So, but nonetheless interesting. They both came down a little bit, yeah, we'll see. Maybe this could be some interesting long opportunities. For example, here price came down. It's now around the zone of control of our volume profile alongside this former resistance level of our liquidity IQ indicator. This could be a potential long setup. Silver, we'll see. It seems to be bouncing off the zone of control as well. As mentioned before, these big volume nodes, when price approaches them from the upside, can often act as support. We are seeing something like this in silver right now. A bit of a zone break here in copper. This is micro copper breaking above this, below this support level. And platinum is just hanging out around this zone of control. Interesting. Okay, real quick, what's going on in oil and natural gas? Oil is interesting too. So oil just switched from bearish to bullish, and we approach this key support level here. You can see it here. Price already started to move up a little bit. Potentially a long bounce set up here, which we may want to consider. Natural gas is fighting with this resistance level on top here, but it would go against the trend, so we might want to be careful of this. And down here we have corn futures and soybean futures. We're going to check these in just a bit later. So this is some of the more exotic indicators on our chart, symbols that we're considering. And one more thing I wanted to say, we have, in fact, the reports are coming in right now. Let's have a quick look. What is going on in the market here in Nasdaq with the job reports coming out? It is 10 a.m. You can see it down here. If there's any kind of reaction. So we can see prices are bouncing off a bit, as we predicted a little bit. Prices may be following suit the Dow Jones, which was already in a downtrend, reversed to a downtrend. And also we can see here prices bouncing off a little bit in Nasdaq from this support level. And in fact, let me just enable one thing real quick. Going to enable mentor mode in our indicator just to explain for the users who are joining us for the first time today what you actually see on the chart. This is just reloading right now. And once this is reloaded, you can see, okay, what's happening right now? Well, price is exactly at this resistance level. So this bluish area here, this is a resistance level with what we call a liquidity capture event. You can see it here. It came in here on the previous bar. It's a bar which comes into resistance and has abnormally high volume. And oftentimes this is a precursor, or this is something that increases the odds of having a bounce off this level rather than a break of the level. And there's some signs right now that this may actually be taking place right now. All right. Okay, perfect. And there's actually one more thing I wanted to showcase. I have set up a bunch of alerts here in my alerts box. And these alerts, these are all based on our OneIQ indicator, this one down here, which will give us a headline if a qualified setup comes up. For example, a long power bounce or a short power breakout, any of these. So we're going to be looking at these alerts as they roll in. And for example, one alert that just came in right here is a long power bounce on ZM. Let's see what this one was all about. Let's just check it out. Long power bounce on ZM, just soybean meal futures. Now we can see it here. It came in here when price broke above this resistance, and we came close to this former resistance level, now acting as support. Prices are a bit higher from there right now, but these are the kind of setups that we might be looking to take as they come in. All right. So can you show us how to build up that news feed you have shown on TradingView? Yeah, Arthur, it's right here. Look at this calendar here, this calendar icon. Oh, you found it. Okay. It's this one here, and you can just see it here. And I always filter by the most important things that are coming in. So let's have a quick look. What happened here? So the ISM came in at 54 rather than the 52 forecasted. Oh, that's interesting. So it actually came in more positive, I would imagine, than forecasted. And the JOLTS report came in, I guess, more negative, 7.146 million open jobs or job openings rather than the 7.61. So I guess positive notes and negative notes here. So kind of a mixed bucket. Once again, we are not here to interpret these numbers. What we want to focus on is the charts and how price reacts to these levels. All right, then we can see here price is coming down in NASDAQ. That could have been an interesting short trade at that point had we taken it here. All right. Derek, for the alerts, yes, I wanted to say something really quick, something about these alerts. So what I have done to set up these alerts, which are coming in, you can see every couple of minutes in my TradingView alerts, is the following. These are all based on our OneIQ indicator. That's number one. And how I set them up is as follows. I go to alerts here. I select our OneIQ indicator down here. And I select any of these four setups: long power bounce, short power bounce, long power breakout, or short power breakout. So I have individual alerts set up for each of these setups. And instead of setting the alerts for each symbol individually, what I do is I set up a watch list alerts, where basically I apply the alert for my entire watch list. Meaning when any symbol in my watch list triggers an alert, I will be notified. This is a very handy feature, which is available in some of the higher subscriptions in TradingView. Okay. And then, Derek, to answer your question, if you set the alert as open-ended, an expiration, you will keep getting these alerts even after once one alert was triggered. So open-ended needs to be set for that. All right, perfect. So Nicholas, do you see anything real quick in the markets? What might be of interest? I've been talking a lot, but let's see if we can find some actionable ideas.
Not right now. I'm still looking. Most of them were short ideas that have already occurred.
Yeah.
There's one I see on the 15-minute chart of silver that might be starting to form.
Oh yeah, this one here, right?
Which is, yeah, exactly, coming down to that zone of control and that other support level. Actually, I have my reference time frame to the chart, so I see slightly different levels. Yeah. But yeah, that might shape up to be something today, at least.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's have a quick overview to see if there's anything of interest coming right now. So we can see, so remember when we talked about that the Dow potentially today is one of the leaders in the market, and Other symbols might be following suit. Look what's happening here. A Dow went, actually, let me make this chart a bit bigger here. On the Dow, it's going to go here. I'm going to open up the Dow Jones. There we go. So the Dow has been selling off. You can see it here. But once the indicator is low, we'll see exactly what I want to see. Look where it's coming down to. This can be actually of interesting one. It's coming down to this former resistance level. So it was broken back here yesterday around noon. Prices went up, but now the sell-off down to this level, which may be acting as support. And if you believe, okay, we are bullish now, there's no question about it. Price definitely is bullish. Well, coming down to this level acting as support because we're approaching it from the upside. And we may be bouncing off this level towards higher price levels. This could be indeed an interesting setup by itself. And if you say, hey, the Dow is a leader for all these other symbols, for the NASDAQ, for S&P, maybe the other ones are going to be following suit. So I kind of actually kind of like the setup already for a potential long entry. For a bounce off this level. It's not perfect because we don't have a second line of defense in place, but nonetheless, I think this could be something, if we come down perhaps a little bit closer here for a long entry, assuming we're going to be bouncing off this key level to the upside. So let's keep this in mind. I'm going to put a price alert here. If we come down a little bit closer, I don't want to jump in right now. I'm just going to put a little alert here for myself.
There's also a bit of a setup once you're ready, Daniel, on Bitcoin starting to form.
Oh, Bitcoin is something we haven't talked about it yet. Would that be a bearish setup, I would
imagine? On the 15-minute chart, MA Rush is also bearish, and there's a lot of liquidity captures at this level. There's no zone of control nearby above. It's way above at another level, but you know, there might, if it keeps testing this support level, maybe it's offering a short opportunity because there's a low volume node below that level that we could drop through pretty quickly. I think
it's this one lost. Here. Yeah, if you lose this level, that's right. So here we can keep an eye on this. Is the Bitcoin futures. We're just testing support. You can see it here. Nicholas is saying, hey, if we lose the support level, then maybe a sell off to at least to this price level here. So we can keep an eye on that. So let me just put an alert here as well. And there's the nice thing about TradingView, you can set alerts for anything, so you don't always have to stare at the charts. You just will be notified on your cell phone or whatever your notification mechanism is once something is happening. Okay, let me just quickly switch over to gold. I kind of like gold for a long. I mentioned it before. We had a bit of a sell-off. Gold, of course, is long-term bullish, and now we're testing this key support level with the zone of control right here. You can see how price came down to the support level, a bunch of liquidity capture events, and we bounce off nicely from this level. The only thing is, I don't want to enter here because we already came below this level. If I were to enter, it would be here, and then I would need to put my stop loss, I guess, all the way down here, maybe even here, which would be a very expensive trade. So that is something to keep in mind. But if price is coming down a bit further, maybe I'll be looking at a long trade here. So I'm going to put my alert here as well. Okay. All right. So what is going on in NASDAQ? Yeah, look at this. NASDAQ is recovering. We're still in the aftermath of these news events. We're not out of the woods yet. We're still testing this resistance level. We sold out a little bit. Now testing it again. If we break above, I think this could be an interesting long opportunity as well. This would be our zone break trade, but let's see what's happening there. All right. Let's have a look at, is it? So that's interesting. So NASDAQ, MNQ, the NASDAQ Micro Futures, the technology futures, they are actually more bullish right now than the S&P futures. Oftentimes they're correlated, but look at how S&P is still struggling. We're still going downwards. We're still fighting of this level. And we pointed this out yesterday in our Lunch and Learn session that, NASDAQ has some catching up to do. It is not as strong, or relatively speaking, as the S&P was. So maybe these are some early signs of that. So let me quickly look into, and Dow is coming down. So it's going to be interesting to see what will be happening to the Dow Jones futures if we are coming closer to this level here, to this broken resistance level, which may be acting as support. All right, and Linda's asking, does the market headline change in real time? Yes, it does, Linda. It updates in real time. You can see these levels will update. If you use replay mode in TradingView, you can actually see it live updating as you go through your times. So it will update in real time. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna quickly go back to the alerts that came in here. The last alert that came in was ZM, the power bounce, long power bounce. Look at this. Would have been a nice one. I was just too scared because it was too close to the market notes. But look at how nice the setup was. We got the alert when we came down near this level. Look at this bounce move afterwards to the upside. That could have been a nice one. In fact, just got my alert. In fact, I like to trade these agricultural futures because they're very slow moving. They're very calm, and oftentimes they respect levels very nicely. So soybeans or even wheat futures, all these things I trade quite a bit. All right, so let's have a look at the alert coming in at Dow. Ooh, okay. So now we're coming close to our level here. The only thing of this one is, even though, on gold too, okay. Even though we're coming now close to this level here, do I want to go long? I don't want to catch a falling knife. We're still fairly near the reports that came in. There's also no second line of defense in place right below, so there's no zone of control below this level. So this is our only level that needs to be holding up. Maybe a bit too risky for a long trade. Let's keep an eye on it. Let's have a look at gold. Okay, so gold is coming down. All right. Yeah. So this is gold now testing support, and you can see it here with a bunch of liquidity captures coming in. Like these shaded areas, these are liquidity capture events. Yeah. I mean, one may be tempted to go long gold at this level. It's not perfect. So, but I think just for the sake of potentially taking a first trade today, maybe a long trade here with a stop loss at this level or just actually nearby could be something that we could do. Why would I say this? Because our trend is bullish. This seems to be. So if you want to piece this market story together, this seems to be just a bit of a correction within this bullish trend, which may find its halt, its stop here at this key support level, especially since we also have a bunch of liquidity capture events. Nicholas, what do you think? Think it's a bit risky?
Yeah, kind of. For a long, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I do think it's risky, but
let's just take that. Let's just
this is a 5-minute chart, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the 5. Oh yeah. Why did I change to the 5 minutes?
On the 15 minutes, let me just take another look. Maybe there's something in the volume profile beneath price.
Yeah, it's not perfect because we don't have our second line of defense in place. It's the volume profile is right here. We just lost actually this high volume node. Ideally, you don't want to take this one because we just lost this high volume node, which should have been acting as support already. Prices didn't bounce off from it. Now we're testing actually our second line of defense. You know what? I'm gonna stay on the sidelines for this one as well. It's okay not to rush things today. And let's try to find a trade where everything comes together. Kerry says silver has pulled back to the opening price. Okay, let's have a look at silver. All right. Yeah. All these the metals are selling out right. Look at platinum here, 8%.
Looks like silver is going to go down to 74 to 75 range today.
Yeah. Well, just coming down to the zone of control. Yeah. I mean, it's nice to have a pullback. And if I were to have a more of a longer term outlook on silver, I would be definitely bullish on silver. Maybe even considering selling some puts from a longer term perspective or from day trading. Yeah, this seems to me like almost catching a falling knife. Let's look at some of the alerts that are coming in. So, did you see these ones here? The alerts are coming in from our 1IQ indicator. Let's check out what these are. So, a whole bunch of 6B. This is the British pound short power breakout. What are we seeing here? So let me go to the 5-minute time frame. This is where the alerts came in. 5-minute. You can see it here. This is my 5-minute chart. I'm going to open up the British pound. And what are we seeing here? Yeah, it's just loading. Just a second. Is this the right time frame? Why are we? Just 1 second, guys. Is this the right one? Oh, I made a mistake. This should be the 50-minute time frame. What did I do here?
Oh, okay. Actually, I responded to a question here mentioning that their 5-minute chart on. Can you hear me, Daniel?
Yeah. Sorry, I could hear you.
Oh, okay. So my response to whoever that was, anonymous, I was incorrect. It's because we had the reference time frame different.
Yeah, so sorry for that. I had made a mistake here. This is the 5-minute time frame on my chart, and now we can see a short power breakout. This now lines up with the alert that came in on the British pound future. And the idea here, for example, and maybe we're actually considering this trade, is we just lost this this support level. Prices powered through. And in fact, let me just set this up right now. What you can do here is you can short this breakout, anticipating, okay, we're going to see a bit of a follow through to the downside. And we have 2 lines of defenses in place. So the way to play this is to just put this in, is to short the market right here. I would like to go in by limit order, get a bit of a better price. My first line of defense would be this broken support level. So if price comes up to this level, it may bounce off from it because broken support acts as resistance. And my second line of defense would be this high volume node here. And this is why I put my stop loss above the second line of defense, hoping that, okay, if both of these fail, okay, I'm going to be out, but hopefully one of these lines of defense will be holding up. So let's see if we can get a fill in this one. We also had another alert coming in here in Swiss. Oh, what happened here? Also here, oh my goodness, that was a big candle. When the reports came out, but also here, you can see the Swiss franc, we lost this support level. We have a second of defense in place, and our trend is bearish. So 3 things once again coming together. I'm not going to double dip here and shorting both. I think both seem to be somewhat correlated, but hopefully one of them will get a fill. But going short both, I think that's a bit too risky because you don't want to double dip your position. Let's see if we can get a fill. Let me just see what's going on here. I don't want to chase this. Let's see. I want to keep our order in. Hopefully we're going to get a fill here, and then we'll see a bit of a follow through to the downside. And let's have a look at Bitcoin. We just got an alert here as well on Bitcoin. And Nicholas, you mentioned maybe a short would be in place here. Huh?
Yeah,
as Bitcoin is losing.
Yeah, within this, at least on the 15-minute chart, there's a large zone between 91,200 and 91,000, let's say 800.
Yeah, I was going to go
and that could be a decent spot to short within. It's getting a little late right now though for the trade.
It's never too late up. But okay, I see what you're meaning. We're losing this. I like it. Look, we're bearish with a high volume, not the zone of control, but a high volume node here, and we're losing this support level. So this could, in fact, be an interesting trade as well. Just connect to my broker here for a potential short setup.
With maybe like a contract chasing the move and then another contract waiting in the backlog for if it retraces a bit,
I never like to chase the move, but yeah, maybe something like this. A first one, stop loss just above here. It's a very cheap contract, Bitcoin. And yeah, let's see if we get the fill here. I think we're going to get at least one fill. I guess you, Nicholas, would have entered at market, huh?
Not now. No, I wouldn't even enter at all now. I would have waited for a retracement like you're doing.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, let's see if we can get a fill here. Again, it looks like a nice short setup. Trend is bearish. We just lost. Okay, we got our fill here. We just lost this support level, the zone break to the downside, and there's a high volume node. It's not the zone of control, so it's not being flagged by our 1IQ indicator, but nonetheless, many things are coming together. 1IQ will only look at the zone of control, this big high volume node here, as the second line of defense. But here, nonetheless, we do have this high volume node, which could act as additional resistance to the upside. So let's see what happens here with this Bitcoin trade. All right. Okay, so let me quickly look at what's going on with my British pound. Still hanging in there. I don't like to chase things. I rather miss, this is my personal thing. I rather miss a trade than chasing it because I really want to, enforce a good entry price onto the market, kind of dictating the market. Hey, where do I want to get filled? I'm in charge, but we'll see. All right. So, okay, let's have a look. What is going on at
We've got a bit of something kind of interesting on the 5-minute chart of Treasury bonds, so ZB, T-bond futures.
ZB? Okay, let's have a look.
It's not that interesting yet. And when do they close, Daniel? Do they close at the same time as like commodities?
No, they close. I think they
It's
open.
5 p.m.
Yeah, 4 p.m. they close.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
If
that's
you're
that's 4 p.m. I guess Chicago time, so 5 p.m. our time, Eastern
and
time.
on the 5-minute for this symbol, why does
Yeah,
my chart look different? Oh,
that's the
because I have
5 minute here.
I have liquidity IQ on the reference on the chart time frame. But
Okay.
it's coming down to a broken resistance level, and it does kind of have a tier 2 nearby below.
Okay, let's have a look.
But that's with. I'm wondering, why does my chart look so different? CBOT. Oh,
Because
again, it's
yeah,
it's the reference time frame thing. But maybe if it comes down a little bit more into that big volume chunk, it could be decent.
coming out a little bit here, you mean? Are you thinking for a long trade or for a short?
Yep, for a long trade.
Okay.
Oh, Daniel, I think your reference time frame for MA Rush also is screwed up here. That's also why it's not looking
Yeah,
the
why
same.
is it? Oh, it's also what did I, whatever. Maybe I made a mistake when I set up my charts. Let me just save this. Oh, this is the 50 minutes. What? Oh, what did I what did I say originally? Did I say the blue one was the 50-minute and the black one was the 5 minute? Is that what I said?
I don't recall, unfortunately.
Let's make a ground rule here. So the blue one will be our 50-minute time frame with the 30-minute reference time frame for all the indices, for the indicators. So I'll put this to 30. And the black background one will be the one. Okay, let me just do this real quick here. So that way it's crystal clear. So I'll put this back to the 30. Would be nice in TradingView to have like a way to annotate your chart. Like put like a label on it, which always is sticky. Whenever, even if I change symbols, I don't think that's possible.
Oh yeah,
But,
yeah.
but now it's just it's written here M15. So this is going to be our one here, and this one will be our 5-minute time frame with all the indicators set to the 50-minute time frame as the reference time frame. So let me just go here. This is good. This is good, and this is good. Okay, perfect. So I'll save this too. So black background, 5-minute time frame with 50 minutes reference, and blue background, 50 minutes chart time frame with 30 minutes reference.
So this setup doesn't look as good now that I see with your reference time frames.
Okay.
Yeah, I would forget this one.
So look at our Bitcoin trade. Okay, we'll see what's going to happen here. We did have a bit of a follow through. A little almost tempted to scale back in, but we'll keep it small because also here the setup was not everything came together. So I don't want to have a big position open. I mentioned before we do want to place some trades in this session. I stand by this, but I will not double down or scale. So I was going to see if this one pans out. If not, no harm, no foul. Okay, so let's have a look. What is going on in our indices? So, okay, so here is Nasdaq. Nasdaq is still fighting with this resistance level. It shows you once again the power of these levels. They do have significance, and of course, it doesn't mean a price will always bounce up from them, but at least you can see how much price is struggling at this key resistance level. Now, it's taking some time to power through it. Probably similar in, I mean, and the E-minis, the S&P 500s, they're even further down, showing you once again that Nasdaq is a bit of a leader today. And we got another setup. Short power breakout on Euro futures. All right, let's check it out. And this is the beauty about these alerts coming in from 1IQ. You can see it here. Short power breakout on the 5-minute time frame. So what I'm going to be doing now, I'm switching over to my 5-minute chart. You can see it, the M5. And I will open up this time frame. Let's check it out. Oh, long power bounce and ZW2. Oh yeah, this is what was flagged here. This break in the Euro futures, short power breakout. You can see it matches up. I'm not going to take it. I think it's These power breaks actually not my favorite ones to trade. I prefer the bounce trades when they come in. So we already took the breakout. We just got the sell on British pound as well.
For the power breaks, I put a nice one in the Discord last night for silver that worked out well, but I prefer them when it's through a tier 2. Like that's the tier 2 is kind of in a magnet zone, and then it breaks through the tier 2, and then it's because that's more like a bounce a little bit than these.
Yeah, and another reason why I don't want to take this particular trade is we already do have a trade open here now, a short trade in British pounds. I do believe there's some sort of correlation going on between Euro futures and British pound futures. They're both bearish right now, so I don't want to double dip. But one of my favorite symbols that maybe posting up right now for a long power bounce is, you can see it here, wheat futures. It's so the way I would play this, and I'll explain to you why I like this setup. First of all, we're bullish. Trend is bullish. It's the 50-minute time frame. Secondly, I won't enter right now, but secondly, if price comes down to this former resistance level, which was broken, you can see we had a zone break here. This was resistance. It broke. If we come down here, this may act as support. And secondly, look where the zone of control is. Fairly nearby. It's not ideal because it's a bit too far away. And if I were to take this trade, I think it's a little bit too far for my risk profile, even with like one contract only. If I were to take this trade with an entry maybe around here, a stop loss down here, that's actually not too bad of $300 risk and potentially a 1-to-1 reward to risk ratio. I think this could be an interesting one if we are coming down to this level. I don't want to chase it here, but yeah. Actually, I'm gonna put this order in here. I like it. Bullish, coming down to a support level, which used to be resistance, but now it's acting as support, and the zone of control right here, which is our second line of defense.
Yeah, that's a nice one. How does micro oil look for you, Daniel?
MCL?
I'm on the 5-minute, yeah, but I'm curious to see what it looks like with your reference timeframes.
Oh, this was, once again, I really need to discipline myself to not mix. Actually, for ZW, just real quick, this was the setup here that was flagged here too on the 50-minute time frame. Just real quick here. Let's have a look. Yeah, but it looks the same, but nonetheless, I really need to focus on opening the right charts. Okay, you said on the 5-minute or the 50-minute time frame, Nicholas?
Oh, the 5-minute, but I guess we could look at both too.
Okay, so MCL, micro crude. All right, let's have a look. All right, so what do we see here on the 50-minute? We're bearish. All right, on the 50-minute, and we're testing this support level. Let's just wait until our volume profile indicator loads. Oops. Sometimes, little TradingView hack, you will see this little exclamation marks next to an indicator. That means it timed out. It took too long to calculate, and if TradingView servers are a bit slow, this is what may happen. So what you can do then is simply go to a different symbol and switch back to your original symbol, and chances are it will load then. All right, so let's have a look here.
So it's looking like it's turning into a bit of a break down.
Yeah, if it does, yeah.
But on the 5-minute, it looks like a potential actual long opportunity on the 5-minute.
Oh, because we're bullish on the 5 minutes. So if I go to the
it's probably not going to be bullish on yours because you have the reference time frame to a higher time frame. But on the 5-minute with the 5-minute reference, it's bullish, and we're right at a tier 2 and a support.
Yeah. Okay, so if that's okay, yeah, but I don't think I'm gonna. Oh, you want to play the bounce off this level, right? That's the
on the 5-minute though. Yeah.
This is what am I? Something is messed up with my charts. Why is this always changing time frames?
I have no idea. Yeah, I thought this one was the 5-minute.
Weird. Okay. Nonetheless. Okay, but yeah, I don't think I'm gonna go long here. It's because I do see all these zone of control, all these higher volume nodes above, which I think would act as resistance. So I'll be just a bit careful.
It actually just lost that tier 2 on the 5-minute as well.
Yeah. All right, so let's have a look at our trade here, our short trade in British pounds futures. So what did we see here? So we did break originally this support level. We got our fill down here, but then prices came back up to this level. It's still valid. So we still, as you can see here, That's the 50-minute time frame. We're still right at the support level. We'll see what's going to happen here. And we have this high volume node right above it. So 2 lines of defense in place for a short trade. Of course, there are no guarantees. If we lose both levels, then of course we're going to be stopped out. And for good reason, we should get out of this trade. But overall, this setup, even though we're putting a drawdown right now, is still valid. Okay, John wants to know, do you consider the buy-sell balance in the volume nodes or just the fact that you're above or below one? We do consider as a side note, basically. So here, what John is referring to, actually, let me go to some of which is not so convoluted. This one here, for example, we don't have a trade open. So what John is saying, once this loads, do I consider, come on, what's here at the end, at the right-hand side of volume, of our volume profile, these boxes here, these bluish boxes or these reddish ones, these ones here. These are indications whether there is a bias towards a more biased looking to place trades or sellers. And yes, as a side note, so this is just another piece of the puzzle which comes in, but not the primary factor. It's just interesting to see at a glance, okay, what did price do, historically speaking, when it approached these levels here? Was it more like a sell-off or perhaps more of a bullish price move in these price regions when price was in there? Nestor wants to look what's going on in Russell RTY. Are you actually considering the ETF? Let me just actually go to RTY. Oops. That's the Russell. Oh, is this different from our M2K? I guess it's not the micro futures, that's why. So what is going on, Russell? This is the 50-minute time frame on the Russell. Let's have a look. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Oh, I like it. Thanks, Nestor, for this. Actually, I like this a lot. Nicholas, look at this.
Yeah.
Here, bullish. This is the 50-minute. We're coming down to this former resistance level, now acting as support, and our zone of control right below. So 2 lines of defense in place. I don't want to trade the RTY. It's a bit too expensive. I want to look at the micro contract, the M2K. It should have the same setup. It's just a bit easier to trade. All right. So what do we see here? Yeah, this is an interesting one. So what I can do here is, in fact, I do like it. I'm going to put a buy order in here. Bullish, zone break retrace to this setup here, and zone of control right below. So the way you would play this is it's like this. You enter at current levels. Hopefully we're going to get our fill. And maybe I'm going to put 2 contracts in because I want to have similar risk on every trade I'm taking. And yeah, I like it. So place this order here. All right, sent. Thanks, Nestor, for this. Yeah, nice long setup. We're not close enough yet for this to flag as a bounce setup, but nonetheless, that's an interesting one. Yeah, very good. How do you identify a tier 2? Linda, there's different ways to do it, but when we call tier 2, and it's actually quite straightforward to see, and let me just put on only our volume IQ indicator so it's a bit easier to see. So here, the tier 2 on this one here is simply the highest volume node, the one that sticks out the most. It would be this one here. You can easily see it, but it's also flagged by this big square here. So every of these nodes have like the smaller squares. These are action zones. The one of the big square, that's our tier 2 node. Yeah. In fact, in volume IQ, if you go to the settings and if you go to, where is it, Nicholas? Where is this?
For the rectangles, it's right there.
Yeah.
Sorry. At the top, action zones. You're in it.
Oh, action.
Yeah. Rectangles.
Oh, yeah. Tier label. They put this to numbers. It will actually put the number 2 in here. So once this reloads, you can see it's loading right now. It will put the number 2 in here. Come on. There we go. All right. Perfect. Okay. So let's have a quick look. I look at my P&L here, which doesn't make me too happy. All right. So now here we are in a position where it's now time for the second line of defense to step up. You can see it here. If I go back to my British pounds trade here. So the idea was, okay, we're going to trade the breakout. All right. So far it didn't work out, but this trade has two lines of defense in place. So what are these two lines of defense? The first one was this broken support level. It seems to be failing. Prices went above it. But we have a second line of defense, and I like these trades because, if one fails, maybe, fingers crossed, the other one will be holding up, which is this high volume node, or this zone of control, in fact, of our volume profile indicator, from which prices may bounce off to the downside. So that's the idea now. And this is exactly what OneIQ will give you. It will only give you a setup in its default configuration if both things are coming in. We have everything comes in, bearish trend. We have a setup where everything comes together, and we have a second line of defense in place. So this is exactly what we are looking for here. All right. Okay, so let's have a look. Can you review gold? Yes, let's have a look at gold. All right, so MGC. What do we see here? Oh, Nicholas. Didn't I ask for this long trade?
No. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so gold looks I mean, whatever. It is not not everything came together. So gold here, we said, okay, we were bullish. We posted probably all-time highs here, and then we had a sell-off right to this support level with a bunch of liquidity captures. And we're contemplating a long trade here. We said it was too risky because we did not have, you can see it here, a second half defense in place. There's nothing really below there, below price, which would act as a second half defense. This is why we rejected this trade. But yeah, of course, hindsight is 2020. Now it bounced off nicely. I also said, oh, maybe it's a bit risky because we do see these high volume nodes here, which may act as resistance. So this price didn't have too much room to move. But yeah, it looks more bullish now. We'll see what price will do with this high volume node, and more importantly, if we even get through this node, how price will react to this high volume node, because that's, I think, is the key tester. If you break above this high volume node, I think then the bulls will be firmly in charge again. We're kind of looking at long setups, but right now the verdict is not out yet. We're still fighting with this node here. There's a chance we're going to be bouncing off again from this node as it may act as resistance. All right. Okay, so let's have a look at what's going on at our trades here. Yeah, it's testing time here for our for our British pound trade. So far, this second half defense has been holding up, but we'll see, and let's see what's going on. If Bitcoin as well, two lines of defense in place. This former support level and this high volume node. So we'll see how this will pan out. Your sentiment is bearish, but your trend is bullish. Why the difference? Can you please qualify which chart that was and which time frame? And I'll take a look. And meanwhile, let's have a look at some of the indices. What's going on here? So this is Nasdaq. Nasdaq still struggling. Yeah, you can see it here. Still struggling with this resistance level. A bit of a sell-off happening right now. Okay. Yeah, it shows you the importance of these resistance levels. It can take some time for price to break through these levels. Go back one chart. Go back. Yeah, you have to give me the symbol, please. I'm not sure which chart that was. Okay. So let's take a look at our overview. What do we see here? So I'm going to go back to the overview. So here, yeah, we see a bit of a struggling both on Nasdaq and S&P. Dow, you can see it here, came down to this former resistance level. It seems to be, at least it's stopped its fall down. You can see prices just came down to this resistance level and not continuing further. And Russell, didn't we have a trade on Russell open? We did, huh?
I'm not. Did we take it? Did you take it?
I took a limit order. Let me just see here on Russell. Yeah, we didn't get the fill. Oh my goodness. Yeah, see, this is this is me. I guess the price was already above this level. Me always wanting to wait until I get the best fill up, because this would have been a very nice long trade here, which you probably would have a nice profit so far. But yeah, okay. Nonetheless, the idea was good on Russell. but we just didn't get the fill. So I'm going to close out this trade. We'll see. We will revisit Russell as our price action will unfold. Okay. Alrighty. So what else do we see in the market? Let me just quickly look at our wheat futures trade. Where do we have it? Here. Ah, yeah, this was the long bounce. Unfortunately, prices are coming high up again. Again, we didn't get the fill. Trading is a game of patience. You will not always get the fill, but to me, I learned over the years that being patient, missing out trades is okay, but I just don't want to get a bad fill. So this is what's going on right here in the wheat futures. Okay, so let's have a look. I think as there were some alerts coming in. Swiss short power bounce. Okay, what's going on here in Swiss? All right, so Swiss. Okay, on the 5 minutes. That's an interesting one too. This is one of the setups where we are right at this critical juncture. Look at this one here, right at the zone of control and a former support level at this level here with some liquidity captures around. I'm tempted to take it. I just don't want to double dip with my British pound trade. I believe there's a correlation there between these two trades here, the short here in British pounds. I'm gonna for this reason, I will not do it. In fact, Nicholas, what we can do, just for the fun of it, let me open up a new layout. Just 1 second, and we'll do a correlation analysis between these two symbols, just to see if they are actually correlated.
Oh yeah.
A new layout, TI pairs. I'm gonna open up our TI pairs indicator on this chart, which specializes for a correlation analysis. I'm gonna go here to indicators, and I will go to TI pairs. There we go. This will take a little while to load, and then we'll see if we can do this correlation analysis. As you can see, this will take a couple of seconds to load. And I think TradingView is quite slow right now. Okay, it's loading right here. I'm going to come back to this. It will take probably 30 seconds to load. Now we're going to configure it to do a correlation analysis between the British pounds futures and the Swiss futures. All right. So back to our trades here. Okay, let's look at Bitcoin. What's going on at Bitcoin? Okay. Yeah, Bitcoin just hanging in there, looking for the break to the downside. Okay. And let me see if there's some symbol requests coming in. Is it worth missing a good move over a few cents? Yeah. John, I agree with you. There's two different schools of thought. To me, I just it makes me feel better in my psyche that I told the market, hey, that's going to be my price. Because trading is to a large degree also psychological. Nicholas, I know, is different. I think he is the opposite direction. Hey, I want to just get this trade. I like this trade. I'm jumping in right now, even though the price is not perfect. Right, Nicholas? Is that more the way you would trade?
Yeah, and I think an important thing, like sometime I'll do limit orders, but oftentimes if I just want to get in, I'll get in for like half of the size I actually want to be in, so that I can then at least capture a bit of it and maybe average out to a better entry price if it retraces.
Yeah, no, John, you're right. I mean, whatever. In the end, everybody needs to do what he or she is comfortable with. But I like to do the limit order thing. It worked well for me in the past. So I'm probably going to stick with it. But you're right, John. Sometimes missing out a trade also is a loss in some sense, a loss in opportunity. Absolutely. Okay, so these trades are just hanging in there. So far, here in our British pounds trade, our second half defense is holding up, especially here on our 5-minute time frame on the British pound. Here, you can see it here once again. Just going to share it to you real quick. So the idea was that at least one of the lines of defenses will hold. So either this former support level acting as resistance or this zone of control as per our volume profile indicator. So far so good. We'll see what's happening here. But this is exactly what I now only look at. So it used to be before 1IQ came in, this indicator which looks for these headline news, for these setups where everything needs to come together, where also the second half defense needs to be in there. I used to get way too many alerts. So I don't know, alerts every couple of minutes, too many for me to really pay attention. Now I pay attention because now I know when an alert comes in, everything is already in place. It doesn't mean that I will take every single trade. I still look at it, of course. It needs to make sense in my head. Also, I need to get the entry that I want. But at least now they're more selective, and it allows me to pay more attention to these more selective alerts. Yes, we all need to be comfortable. Yes, absolutely, John. Okay, so let's go to TI pairs. There we go. Let me configure it. I'm going to go to my configuration here. I'm going to only compare, let's say, let's compare 4 symbols. And we'll do a custom comparison. And the first one we're going to do is 6S is the Swiss franc. Then I want to compare 6B. And just for the fun of it, also 6E, the Euro futures. And let's also do maybe one more. What else could we do in the future space? Euro, pound, maybe Australian. Why not? And maybe, yeah, that's fine. Okay, these 4. And I only put 4 once in here because it loads a bit faster. If you have all 10 comparisons, this calculation will take some time. Now let's see which ones of them are actually correlated. So we wanted to compare Swiss franc with 6B. And what do we see here on the 5-minute time frame? The little 5 here, 87% positive correlation. Meaning, yeah, these 2 symbols are highly correlated. This is exactly why I didn't take this 6S trade to the short side, because I don't want to be doubly exposed. So this can go up to a number of 100, which would be a perfect correlation. 87 is very close to 100. So if it's something around like 20 or minus 20, this can also be negative. Something like this, it means it's not correlated. But if it's directly highly correlated, you can see this little scale here. It means when one goes up, the other one is likely to go up. And when one goes down, the other one is likely to go down. And now going short twice in British pound and in Swiss is not the best idea. Would you agree? Because it's kind of double dipping into this trade, which we don't want to do. And this is where this correlation analysis comes in. I kind of gauged because we've been trading these symbols for a long time. It was apparent to me, but sometimes it's not so apparent. And this is where this TI pairs indicator comes in, which does this correlation analysis automatically for us. All right. Now let's have a look. What is going on here? So this is our British pound. Okay, so far our second line of defense is holding. We'll see if we now see a break to the downside. That would be nice. And let's have a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, yeah, it's still like just hanging out there. Okay, so far so good. What about our other open trades that we have? Let me quickly look at our wheat futures. Yeah, I think we're not going to get the fill here, this one. We'll see. If you come down one more time to our level, maybe we get another chance. But right now, I think prices are just off to the races, to the upside for this particular one. And then we also had our Russell was canceled, and then we have our fills here. Okay, perfect. All right. Let's see. What else could we look at? Let's have a look at our overall markets one more time. Okay, so gold is fighting with the zone of control on the 50-minute time frame. Silver also bounced. You can see it here, bounced off the zone of control. These are the silver futures. We're bullish. So this, yeah, could be something. Copper. Look at copper here. Copper broke this support level. You can see it here. Came down and came up again towards this broken support level, now acting as resistance in a bearish trend with the zone of a high volume node right above as the second line of defense. And platinum, yeah, my platinum also saw a big sell-off, 7% today in platinum futures. All right. Okay. So what about oil? Yeah. And Nicholas, you called it, huh? A long trade in oil. That's what you had in mind, right?
Yeah, but it didn't look good from that reference, the higher reference time frame.
Yeah. Here we went bullish, came down to this former or to support level, and then the idea was potentially to go long here. But yeah, you're right. It didn't look as clean as it could have been. And we just got another alert here. 6B short power breakout. Let's check it out. So down to my
coming back
alerts.
down. Yeah, you're almost flat, I think.
Let me just check it out here. Where is it? On the 5-minute time frame. So now let me focus on opening the right chart. 6B opening up. Yeah. Why was it flagged here as short power breakout? You can see it also here because we just came below the support level again here. So far so good. This trade is coming down. Our second line of defense has held up so far, which is good news. Let's see if now this breakout move will be lasting and potentially we're going to see a nice follow through for this particular trade. Sam wants to know, where can I find the futures day trading list Daniel's using? Oh, I created this myself, Sam. It's this list here. All I did is, and I don't think I can I share watch list in TradingView? Maybe I can, not sure. But I just added these myself. So I have
It is possible.
Oh, it's possible. Sam, just yeah. What I have here is I just added MNQ, MES, Dow, and Russell as my index futures. You can see it here. Then we had a couple of metals: gold, silver, copper, and platinum. This is just a small selection. You can customize it yourself. Commodities, crude, natural gas, and then some agricultural futures, corn and soybeans. And then the currencies, euro, pound, and Bitcoin and Ethereum here. Yeah, and there's some bonds as well. Check out the move on MES. Okay, what's going on MES? Let's have a look. So switching over to my chart here. MES. Are we yeah, we're catching up, huh? Is that what you were saying, John? Yeah. So okay, MES is the S&P 500 futures catching up now, coming up to this resistance level here on the 50-minute time frame. And I believe if MES is coming up, what about Nasdaq? Nasdaq is breaking out because it's been the leader so far. Nasdaq here, and now we put on our trades here. One thing what we could do potentially is to play this to the long side. Yeah. Even though here also not everything is coming together. So we did break above this resistance level, which is good news. But there's no second line of defense in place. The next one would be all the way potentially down here, this former resistance level. And the high volume node or the zone of control is only down here. To me, a bit risky to chase that. I would have loved prices to come down to maybe a key level here, like the support level, and then maybe go long. Chasing this one right now to the long side, it's possible to do. And, we've been so bullish. I would not be surprised if we're pushing higher here to all-time highs. But it's just maybe a bit too risky because our second line of defense is not in place. Precious metals. Oh yeah, I'm definitely bullish.
Still not, fully. Sorry, I was muted. Fully confirmed breakout there. Like I agree, liquidity capture, not a lot of volume supporting you.
Yeah.
Check out British pound, by the way, Daniel.
Oh, is there any? Oh, look at this. Okay. Let's have a look at British pound. Okay. All right. Some hope. So now, of course, the question is, will we lose this swing low here, which we, of course, we entered here at this level. The idea was to, see a nice follow through from the zone break. Let's see. I'm happy to see that the second line of defense has held up. Now, what I won't do probably, if we come back up again, I'm probably going to just close out this trade. I will not hold on to it because I think the more we struggle with the level of a zone break here, the less the chance, again, this is just my subjective opinion, that we actually see a zone break soon. I actually want to see it quite fast. So this is, to me, is the second chance to get the zone break. I want to see prices move below this level. If we don't, I may just close it out more or less flat, or maybe with a small loss, but let's see what happens. And Bitcoin, Bitcoin also kind of in the same vein here. Our two lines of defenses are holding up more or less, so that's good news. All right. And this was also short power breakout. There's an alert coming in here. Oh, short power bounce. Look at this. Another setup. So now look at this. It's actually interesting to say, just to discuss. British pound in quick succession, 5 minutes apart. You can see it here. 10:50 and 10:55 had two different alerts. The first one was the short power breakout, and the second one was the short power bounce. Why is that? Both on the 5-minute time frame. Let's analyze this real quick. So I'm going to go to this symbol and see what happened here. Oh, and now we see this this follow through, which I was hoping for. So what do we see here? First off, short power breakout. Where did this happen? This happened probably. Did it just change something? Whatever. This probably happened around this level here when we lost 10:50. When we lost this support level, that was the breakout move, I believe, or maybe here when the breakout happened and this move happened, and then prices came temporarily back up again into this zone once it was already below, which was flagged as the bounce move. So we came from below into this level. I think that's maybe at some point in the future we can maybe tweak the logic a little bit. So well, I guess it's fine. But yeah, both pointing to the short direction here. One was the breakout move, and then prices came back up again as a bounce move from this resistance level here. All right. So I'm happy with
Bitcoin
this.
also is starting to come in your way as well. Seems like it's came up back to the broken level and it's failing again or dropping down again.
You know what? Just so we I think just to book a first quick win today, Nicholas. I may just take some profits here in this or the symbol here, just to have something in the books if I get filled, because I still think it might take a while until we see a really convincing move to the downside here in the symbol. So let's see. Maybe I'll just get something in the books. Why not? It's a little bit of realized profit. I may revisit this again, but just something. It's always good to have a first. A first positive trade in the book. So let's have a look at Bitcoin here, especially since I personally like to trade the bounce moves more than the breakouts, because breakouts, I don't have my slide here right now. You have this breakout, but then of course after a breakout you have something called the zone break retrace, and I didn't want to really wait out until we have that retrace move. That's for that. I oftentimes take these breakout trades or close them out very early, as soon as they are a bit in profit. All right. Okay, so let's have a look. What else do we see? Close this here. Yeah, Nasdaq is trying to push above this one. Let's look at Dow. Dow also. I mean, of those trades. Yeah, I was just saying here, maybe what we could do, Nicholas, if I were to play this, I probably would take a Dow trade here, because this is more like for a long trade with this high volume node below here, because that to me looks a bit more promising than the other one. What do you think?
Yeah, I definitely agree. And like we're coming down into that buyer block too below, so there is some support maybe to scale in.
Let me just quickly look at what's going on with Russell. Russell, we also wanted to take that bounce trade here. We didn't get our fill. Would have worked out quite nicely. Yeah. So I think what I'm going to do, just to change it up a little bit, let's place a trade here in Dow. It's a very inexpensive contract, so my fill around this level and my stop loss. Just going to put one contract in just here. I'm going to give this trade a bit more room below this high volume node. And if we lose it, then I'm going to get out. And of course, here we're just going to take a modest profit at this high volume node here if we get to it. So I'm going to place this trade. Perfect. All right. Hope is a scary emotion to have when trading. Yeah. You know what, Kerry? Hope is more like I'm trading in front of an audience. If this was just my me trading myself, I probably wouldn't have closed out these trades so fast. But it's nice to to book a win, or just to have at least moderate success in these live trading sessions. All right, he was teasing me. All right, okay. Are there any questions, guys? If you have any questions coming in, symbol requests, please, ask now. Otherwise, I was going to continue with my. And John says, gotta leave emotion at the door to the trading floor. Absolutely. Yeah. And you know what the best way to do this is, John? It's just to trade small. So even you may say, oh my God, you have like a fairly decent day trading account here, $50,000. Why are you trading so small? It's exactly for this reason. But it also adds up. So if you trade, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 trades a day, even these small trades, they will add up. Yeah. And just having smaller position size is just something which will just keep you much more sane. 6 power bounce, short power bounce on 6B. Let's have a look here. Another alert came in on the 5-minute time frame. So I'm going to go to 6B. And yeah, look what happened here. You know what? I kind of felt that, hey, it sometimes takes a while to for this move to pan out. That's why I closed out this trade where it was. I didn't want to give back to it. So for good reason. Now we're coming back up here. And now, I mean, there's nothing wrong in reshorting this position again. I think we've done it. I just feel that, this symbol will just take a while. This seems to be a contested area. Price is going to hang out here for a little while, and that's going to stay away. But it is definitely shortable again, especially if price comes up here again. We have 2 lines of defense in place. Yeah, definitely could be a candidate for shorting. All right, so let's have a look at what's going on in the markets. Okay, so here. Nasdaq still pushing higher. S&P struggling a bit with this level still, and Dow is. We're seeing some signs of a bounce. We do have a limit order in here. So once again, maybe I should have just went in that market. I didn't. And Russell is, I've seen this bounce here already. Let's have a look at our metals. Gold still struggling. This is micro gold here with this zone of control. Silver, kind of a no man's land. Bounce off the zone of control, but now facing this resistance level here. And copper, just it looks a bit bearish now in copper. If it were to come up maybe towards this level, could be a potential short, but right now, not much to be said there. And platinum went to bearish on the 50-minute time frame. Of course, overall platinum is very bullish. But if anything, this looks to me like a more of a bullish setup, but it would be going against the trend. So I'll probably skip that one. Let's have a look here. Oil. I think, Nicholas, if oil loses this level here, I think I'll be more inclined for a short trade in oil if we lose this level. It kind of looks like really
agreed
bearish to me. To me, this is where I don't always completely rely on these trend indications here. So I see this big bearish trend, a big of a retracement within this bearish move before a second lag down would occur. So if we lose this level, that could be an interesting short in oil. Natural gas, the widowmaker, as people say it. I'm not going to touch it today. We're bullish coming off the zone of control, but there's resistance right here. And then we have corn futures testing the zone of control, and soybean, also at the zone of control. All right. Good call on British pound, Can you please show us if this works for the 1 or 2 minute time frame? Yeah, it would work the same. But to me, we could configure it just for the fun of it for these small time frames. Let me just quickly see what is going on with our trades real quick. Bitcoin just still hanging in there. So take a look here. And so if I were to configure this with the smallest time frame, how would I do it? So for this, let me just open up a brand new layout. I'm going to go here. I'm going to create a new layout. You can do this here. Create new layout. Okay, M1 trading. Okay, so create. And what I will then do first is I will put this to the 1 minute time frame as my reference time frame and apply our indicators to it. So let's start with let's see the Nasdaq futures maybe. Okay, so this is the 1 minute time frame on Nasdaq. So now let's add our indicators to it. So the first one I would add, let's say, is MA Rush. So I'll go to invite only scripts and put MA Rush, our trend indicator, on it. This one. All right. And let's just have a look what happens once this indicator is on the chart. So it's loading now, and the indicator will be displayed on the chart. So we can see, okay, we get our trend reads here. Currently, we are bullish on the 1 minute time frame. I personally prefer to set the reference time frame slightly higher than the chart time frame. So right now it's using the chart for trend determination, but I kind of always like to go a bit higher. So let's maybe put this to the 5 minute time frame as the reference one. So it's reloading, and then this trend information will update. Some of this stays the same, but oftentimes it will change it. Okay, so that was MA Rush. Now let's put our levels on, our liquidity IQ indicator. All right, so once again, it's loading. It will show us the levels as per the chart time frame by default. You can see it's loading here. All right, so yeah, we can see here we broke. Actually, let me just quickly disable mentor mode so it's not so messy. All right, so also here we can see we did break above this level as per the 1 minute time frame. And it's just reloading. There we go. Now it's a bit cleaner. Also here, what I would do personally is I would change the reference time frame to the 5 minute time frame just to get levels which are a bit more meaningful. That's just from the 1 minute time frame. I think there's a lot of noise, these small time frames. Just go a little bit higher. And then I would also apply volume IQ to the chart. There we go. Here I would just keep it the way it is. I wouldn't change anything in the logic parameters. I like volume IQ the way it comes out of the box. It just works beautifully that way. So it's loading right now. And yeah, perfect. The only thing I don't like, this is just for styling purposes, but it has nothing to do with the logic, is these little numbers here. Just, I think it clutters my brain. So I usually switch off the volume counts. Do you see these numbers here? How much volume is actually traded at this level? I switched them off. Okay. So yeah, and this is how I would probably configure it for the 1 minute time frame. These indicators. I'm going to skip one IQ now. Oh, it's just still loading. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Yeah, not so that here you would see, okay, we're in the long break scenario. We broke above resistance, but not really anything we can do at this price level here. Let's maybe look at gold. See what we can see here for the 1 minute time frame. So here probably we can see we are bearish, I would imagine, as per MA Rush. Yeah. Oh, just testing this level here and the volume. Yeah. The high volume node. We're actually right in this high volume node right now as per volume IQ. Yeah. Here, potentially, if we see a break below this level, maybe a short trade could be of interest. It says long bounce here in liquidity IQ because we are at this support level where prices could bounce off from. But if you look at trend, we're bearish. So this would be going against the trend, something I personally don't like to do too much. Let's maybe look at crude for one more symbol. What's going on with crude oil? Bullish trend, which is interesting. Probably, yeah. So here it says long bounce, but it's based on this level here. We're fairly near this level. I would personally wait until we're a bit closer to potentially play the long trade in oil, if anything, off this level. Right now, I probably would not go long because we're right going against this high volume node, which may act as resistance. Yeah, Linda, we can look at some stocks. Absolutely. So what can we do? Nicholas, let's run a scan on some stocks. How about this?
Yeah, sure.
Actually, that's a good point. Actually, let me just quickly look at what's going on here with Bitcoin. Yeah, it's going against me just a little bit. We'll see what's up. Well, I'll keep this trade open, hoping for a break below this level. But yeah, let's, Linda, that's a good point. Let's look at some stocks. So what we can do is we can use the Pine Scanner for this. So I'm going to go to my profile, and then you go to products here, and you go to screeners, and you will use the Pine Scanner, this one here. And what I want to do is, first of all, I want to scan, let's say, through the S&P 500. So I'm going to load my watch list of the S&P 500, 501 symbols in here, and we'll use our 1IQ indicator, the scanner version of it. It'll take a little while to load. And Nicholas, I will also pick, instead of the daily time frame, because we're day trading here, let's just for the fun of it, let's see what's happening on the 50-minute time frame, just for the fun of it. Okay, so I'm going to click scan. Let's see if you can find some interesting ideas.
And there might be slightly different levels and stuff for the reference time frame.
Yeah, there's some limitations, but at least let's see what we can find. All right. So this takes a little while. We're scanning through 500 symbols. You can see it's still loading. Perfect. So it's done. And now let's have a look what we have. So you always have to re-enable all these things here. And let's see if we get any setups. So I'm going to sort in ascending order here on my long bounds. All right, cool. We got something. All right. NVIDIA. Let's pick NVIDIA. Let's see what this is. This is the 15-minute time frame on NVIDIA. So what I'm going to do, yet again, I'm going to open up another layout just to keep things separated. This is my stocks day trading layout. Okay. Open a new tab. That's fine. Let's check it out. So here we're going to go to my 50-minute time frame. I will apply my indicators to it real quick. Okay, Liquidity IQ, MA Rush, 1IQ, and Volume IQ. There we go. And I'm going to open up NVIDIA. Oops, it's not a future, of course, it's a stock. NVIDIA Corporation. Let's see what we see here on the 15-minute time frame. It says long power bounce on NVIDIA. Let's see what we have. Okay. So I think what was picked up here, it's this one here probably. It's we are coming close to the zone of control. You can see here the trend just went bullish, and we have a segment of defense in place here, which is this support level. So yeah, so I think if prices would come down a little bit further, closer to this level here, maybe this could be an interesting long trade because we have all these levels in place. High volume node or the zone of control, and a signal of defense by this level of support. Okay. Actually, let me just quickly disable the Mentor mode here so it's not so convoluted. Okay, that was one we had. What about the other one? We also had, do we know any of these? PCG. What's going on there? Let's have a look. PCG. All right. Oh, yeah. Also I can already see how this could be an interesting one. What do we have here? All right. Trend just went to bearish, but I think overall it is, yeah, same thing. Getting into this, you can see it's it just went to bearish on the last bar, but overall this seems to be like a bullish move. We are getting into the zone of control and the signal of defense, this support level right below. Yeah, also an interesting long trade. Absolutely. Yeah, maybe Nicholas, I like this one. What do you think?
Yeah, that's
potential long trade. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just switch off the.
What does it look like on the 30-minute chart? Just because we
Yeah.
just went bearish on the momentum. So I was
just
just
switch up the
curious.
setup box. Yeah. Yeah. Let's have a look on the 30 minutes. Yeah, I mean, looks we're making higher highs here, which I kind of higher lows along the way. We're still bullish here, coming down to this zone of control, the support level, kind of losing the zone of control. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. Maybe one more example. What about the first one here? PLD. What do we see here? PLD. Okay. On the 50-minute time frame. This one I think is a bit. Here we came down. I can see it here. We came down from above probably to a support. Oh no, we actually probably was here to the support level, zone of control. Once the volume profile loads, it's around here. So if price once again comes down to this level, this could be a potential entry with your second line of defense, this being this level here. So this would be from a day trading point of view for stocks. Why use Pine Screener? It's because I want to see the stocks which, you could also define alerts, Linda. Yeah, what you could have also done, I just don't have them defined right now. You could have set up your alerts. So what you can do, Linda, you can pick your watch list, the S&P 500 watch list, or whatever stocks watch list you have. I have mine here. And then you can go to alerts. You make sure you have 1IQ applied to the chart. Actually, let me just give me one quick second here. This is fine. So 1IQ applied to the chart, and you will then pick the entire watch list. You use 1IQ, and maybe configure it as, hey, I want to be alert when any alert comes up on my entire S&P 500 watch list. I click OK. on the 50-minute reference time frame. And now you can see here in my alerts, we're probably going to get a couple of more alerts coming in as we're now scanning through all the different stocks. You can see this one is now active here, this alert. And yeah, you can see them here, EPAN, Warner Brothers coming in, all these alerts coming in. And just click on one of them, just see if we can match them up. Where were they? There. So here, Warner Brothers, for example. What is the alert here? Let's have a look. Yeah, you can see all these different alerts coming on stocks. Probably a short bounce alert here. It's an interesting one. Bearish is trend. Trend is bearish. Bearish is trend. Short power bounce. Yeah, exactly what it is. So yeah, for a potential short here. And you can see all these different alerts coming in for our stocks. Okay. In Volume IQ, what do the indicators in the left-hand column represent? They are blue and red stacked boxes. Yeah. These ones here. So I believe, let me go back to my chart here just so we can see it a bit more clear. Just switch the symbol. I believe what you meant are these boxes here in Volume IQ. Let me just load this real quick. Okay. So these boxes here, I believe that's what you meant, John. So these are what we call bias boxes. And basically they indicate to you, okay, what did price primarily do when it was in this price region? Did it go up or did it go down? Basically meaning were buyers in control or sellers in control and price was in this price region primarily. So how did price move when it was in this price region? That's what this little box indicates. And this big box here basically aggregates this entire thing. So sometimes it's a bit too fine-grained. You can see it here, like it aggregates consecutive stacking of these boxes in the same color. So if there's a bigger bias towards one direction, it will be showing here. And if it's in the short direction, you can see it here as well. These are grouped together. This kind of gives you a sentiment, hey, what price typically does in our look back period in these price regions. Okay. Could you have price and volume peer and future updates maybe in the scanner? Maybe, Derek, but there are some limitations even right now with what the Heinz scanner allows us to do, but maybe we will look into that. Gabriel, no, Netflix hasn't been asked about. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at Netflix. All right. From a day trading point of view. Okay. Netflix. So that definitely looks a bit bearish to me. All right, let's have a look. Yeah, bearish sentiment here. We just lost this support level. We had a zone break here. We came back up. This would be our zone break retrace setup. And the volume, the zone of control is right here. So yeah, it definitely looks bearish to me. So if Netflix potentially would come up to this level here, maybe another short of Netflix from a day trading point of view. If we are going to swing trading, oops, not the 2 days, the 1 day time frame. Where is it? There we go. Let's see what we see here. Also, Netflix has been correcting down quite a bit from the highs of 133. Of course, Netflix did have a stock split last year, 10-1, I believe. Was it a 10-1? Yeah, 10-1 stock split in Netflix. Used to be very expensive. Now it's more affordable. Yeah, but a deeper correction, which is not uncommon after a really big parabolic move up. Netflix is correcting to the downside. I think the next level where it may stop actually only is this level here, this 83 level. You can see this little support level here. That might be the next level where prices will find some support. What about the boxes to the left of the horizontal bars? Oh, you mean this one here, these ones here, John? This is our trend bias. So volume, as per Volume IQ. So we have MA Rush for trend. You can see MA Rush is clearly bullish, but Volume IQ has a bit of a shorter look back period. So this basically shows you what is the overarching trend as per our volume profile. So here for Netflix, it would be rather bearish, shorter term. All right. Okay, so what are we looking at here? Yeah, Bitcoin. Yeah. Okay. Who had this idea of going short Bitcoin? I'm just kidding. No, I'm basically the setup is still pretty much intact. We are bearish Bitcoin fighting with this level here, and we have a second line of defense in place all the way up here. So yeah, we'll see how this one will pan out. And let me quickly look at some of the other open orders that we had in Dow. Dow's still struggling. What because it didn't move much after this kind of a volatile morning here for the sell-off. Was still there, and we also have our trade here in. This one is coming down in wheat futures. Or is that coming down a bit closer, at least, to our entry level? I'm not sure we're going to get a fill. Wheat futures will close fairly early today, actually every day, at 1:20 Chicago time. That's 2:20 Eastern time. And the market will close until 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. Eastern time. All right. Are there any other questions coming in or any symbol requests?
Checking.
Okay.
Did you explain the action zones, Daniel?
I did explain them, yeah. So that was good. Okay, so let's just do one more market review, and then let's see where we're at with our open trades. So let's have a quick overview. So yeah, look what happened here on NASDAQ. Now, this is why I was careful and going long there, even though we saw a bit of a bullish move. There's just nothing which would give additional support. There was no second line of defense in place, and especially in the aftermath of big news like today, there might be some zigzag price action being involved. So yeah, I'm a bit careful of this. And Dow is coming down a bit, maybe to our entry zone here. So I still like the setup for a potential bounce of this support level down here. And yeah, and Russell struggling with the zone of control. What about gold? Oh, my goodness. Who said we shouldn't trade gold long? I'm just joking. Let's have a look at gold here. Oh my God. Yeah. Hindsight is 2020, but you never know. There was just no second half defense in place here. So we skipped this trade. We discussed it when gold came down to the support level in a bullish trend, really bullish. And look at the bounce here. This would have been probably the trade of to date. Now it's coming right to the zone of control. And I would not be surprised if we see prices now slowing down at this level. This is typically what happens, or at least, slowing down, maybe even a bit of a bounce to the downside at this zone of control, which is the most contested level right now in our look back period on this 5-minute chart. All right. That was gold coming up. Silver also coming up. It's going to be interesting to see if we can go above this former resistance level. If yes, I think the bulls will be firmly in charge in silver again, and we see another leg further up. Copper, yeah, just hanging in there. And platinum struggling with this resistance level and the zone of control. And finally, let's have a look at oil here. Yeah, for oil, I would be interesting to see if crude, if we lose this level here. If we do, maybe another short could be in order. Natural gas, just kind of no man's land, struggling with the zone of control. And then we have our corn futures, which kind of in no man's land as well, right at the zone of control, but there's no level nearby. And one last look at our currencies here. Euro is coming up to the zone of control. British pound is coming down a bit further again. So this here now the breakout seems to be panning out. We were short British pound, took some profits here, which was nice. Bitcoin pushing up higher. Now it's going to be interesting to see how does Bitcoin react to this second line of defense. Actually, let me zoom into this chart real quick on Bitcoin. Oh, cancel. What is going on here? Oh, yeah. So what did we see here? All right. So Bitcoin, once again, look at this, came up to this higher volume node. It's not the zone of control, unfortunately, which is all the way up here. This would be too much risk on our end. Nonetheless, a high volume node acting as our second line of defense. Remember, we took this trade because we wanted to get some exposure to the markets. It was not the perfect setup. Ideally, this node here would have been our tier 2 node here, our zone of control, which makes it even stronger. It's not the case here, so we're going to see what will happen. The idea is that the second line of defense will hold. We're going to see another leg further to the downside. MGC has a buy alert on the 50-minute time frame. Okay. This is D5. Let's go to the 15-minute time frame. Let's have a look. Okay, MGC. A buy alert? Really? Probably not on our configuration. Not sure what you are using there. But here on the 50 minutes, oh yeah, we just got about the zone of control. This is the 50-minute. Yeah. To me, it's a bit too late now to jump into this, even though we did come above the zone of control. It's just not that where everything comes in place, where we have these two lines of defense in place, which I would like to trade. Nonetheless, it does look more bullish now for sure on MGC. Yeah. All right. Okay. And let's have a look at one of our stock alerts here. What do we have? We have FRT. All right, the Federal Realty Investment Trust on the 50-minute time frame for probably a breakout move or maybe a bounce move. Let's have a look. On the 50-minute, we are bearish. Oh yeah, look at this. Bearish. We're coming up to the zone of control. You can see it here. And we have a signal of defense here by this resistance level. Now that could be an interesting short trade. Seeing that we're bearish as per MA Rush to see if we see some a bearish move off this level. All right, guys. I think this brings us pretty much towards the end of this live trading session. We're going to keep an eye on our Bitcoin trade. I hope it's still going to turn around as we anticipated. It looks pretty bearish to me. Look at these lower highs along the way with some lower lows. And the trend definitely is bearish. There's no question about it. We do have this zone of control, or this high volume node here as our second line of defense. To me, still looking pretty good. Let's see what happens. I will keep you guys posted in our Discord channel how this one will pan out. How many list alerts can you set? I believe, can set, I think 15 in our very expensive TradingView subscription. So we are on the ultimate subscription here, which is this one.
I think it caps out at 4 at premium.
Yeah. Oh, actually 2.
2. Oh, wow. There was just 4 a week ago.
Yeah. Yep. TradingView is changing that stuff. So this is what we have. We buy this all the time when there's a sale on TradingView. So if you don't have it yet, I would wait. We bought it on the Black Friday sale. We bought it as a yearly subscription, which I think was like 60% off, maybe even more. Huge discount. Otherwise, I think it's too expensive.
85% off.
Or 85. Oh Jesus, yeah, a huge sale. So we waited for this to come down. But even premium allows you to put 2 watch list alerts. And in fact, because of this restriction that you only have 2 watch list alerts, what we did in OneIQ, let me quickly go back, is we have this option for OneIQ. If you go to OneIQ here, and let's say you pick a watch list, you can be alerted for any alert, meaning you don't have to have separate alerts being set up, which would count towards your quota. You can just simply use the any alert option here. This is exactly for that reason that many of you may not be on the ultimate subscription and you cannot set as many watch list alerts. This is why you can use this option here, the any alert option. And you can see these are coming in right now for the S&P 500s. All right. Perfect. With this, one last look at Bitcoin. Where are we here? And then we're going to wrap up this session. Yeah, it's coming down a bit. I'm still hopeful that we will see a nice follow through to the downside. And if we do, I will keep you guys posted on our Discord channel. Just one quick reminder that we do have these special going on right now for all 4 market IQ indicators, which are Liquidity IQ, Volume IQ, OneIQ, and MA Rush. If you are considering it, simply go to tradingindicators.com/2026. Actually, let me just quickly show you how this one looks like. So tradingindicators.com/2026 is the big New Year's special. Scroll down. We have different packages here, but the one that we showcased right now is this one here, the Market IQ pack. You go there to check out what is the special offer. Also, if you already have some of our indicators and only want to add one or two to your arsenal, we do have a 25% discount going on right now for individual indicators. Simply enter the discount code 2026 at checkout. As for the recording, it will be posted on our YouTube page. So if you go to youtube.com, actually, that's a shortcut. If you go to tradingindicators.com, just show it to you how to get there. Go to our homepage, tradingindicators.com, click on this YouTube icon here. Just quickly wait until the site loads. Click here. This will bring you directly to our YouTube page, which is this one here. And scroll down to live trading. And this is where we're going to post this recording this afternoon in like 1 or 2 hours. It should be online. Is the Discord free? Yeah, Joe, it's free. Good point. For Discord, and Nicholas, please put the link also into the chat. What you need to do is simply go to tradingindicators.com/Discord. This one here. This will redirect you to an invitational page of Discord. Just accept the invitation, and then you will see our Discord server. This one here. I'm already part of it. But yeah, accept the invite, and then you can join our Discord channel. Great. Perfect. All right, guys. With this, one last look at Bitcoin. That's still hanging in there. We'll see how this will pan out, and then I'll keep you guys posted. I think it was a pretty calm session today. I was hoping for some more interesting setups. We did make some right calls here and there, but we just didn't get the fill. It happens sometimes, but you know, and the good news is there's always another trading opportunity just around the corner, especially if you have set up your alerts accordingly. You can see how many alerts are coming in there right now with our stock alerts being added. All right, guys. Perfect. So with this, guys, have a great afternoon. Talk to you soon. Our next event will be this Saturday, where we are doing our live scanning session for the next, for the most interesting swing trading setups for the week and the weeks ahead. So we're going to switch gear on Saturday, looking at swing trades, swing stock trades primarily. So join us there. The invite will be sent out. All right. With this, guys, have a nice day. Thanks, Niklas, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.